Hi, I am Atanu. In this tutorial video, you learn ratio, proportion and variation of the class 8 mathematics. All series of the mathematics tutorial video you get from the playlist. And if you watch this video till end, will be and also take the notes at the same time, and you will be able to solve any of your exercise textbook yourself. But for the advanced level, you must consult with your teacher, and also you can join my online class also for more doubt clearance and advanced level training with affordable fees. And I advise you watch this video till end, so that your concept will be very much clear, and you can apply to solve the exercise. And if this video is helpful to you, if you watch till end, then you must subscribe this channel, also share this video with your friends, and also like this video and press the bell icon so that you can get all updates. So without wasting time, let's start the ratio, proportion and variation. So what is the definition of the ratio? When the two or more quantities of the same kind are compared by dividing with each other, then this relation is called the ratio. Let's understand this definition with simple example. Suppose there are 100 apples and two baskets are there, A and B. We have to separate this apple into the two basket with the 40 and 60 and kept in the two basket. Now if someone asks you that what is the ratio of the apples available in the basket A and basket B, this ratio is 40 is to 60. Write is as 40 by 60, and further simplify, 0 cancel out, and here 2 2 are 4 and 3, so it is 2 by 3, and we can write as 2 is to 3. So this ratio we can separate the apple into the two basket, 2 is to 3, right? This is the notation of the ratio. Okay, so in the general form we can write as, for example, there are the two similar quantity, that is A is to B. Okay, we can A by B form. Okay, and we can say in the word, this is word as A, we can say this as A is to B. Okay, or also you can write as A by B. These all are the same. From the ratio, find out the quantity can be solved the different way. The same question of the previous we can solve in this method. Here the question again we repeat here, that is total apples is 100, and the ratio of the apples in the basket 1 and basket 2 are 2 is to 3, and here question asks how many apples are there in the basket A and B. So let's assume how you can solve this. Let's assume basket A has apple 2x. Since the ratio given 2 is to 3, so we can assume this. And basket B has apples 3x. So total apple is how much? Is equal to, in the basket A and B, is equal to 2x plus 3x. So this is 5x, and it is given that ATQ, according to the question, it is given the 5x is equal to 100 apples. So we have x is equal to 100 by 5, so this is 20. from here we can get the apples in the basket A is equal to how much? That is the 2x is equal to 2 into 20. So it is 40. Got it? So basket A has 40 apples and basket B has how much apples? Apples and apples in basket B is equal to how much? That is 3x. So 3 into 20. So 60. So we get how much? That is 60. Now we get the same answer. Look at this. How many apples are there? This is 40 and 60. So with this method we can find out the quantity from the ratio. So first you can write here the ratio. Apples in the basket A, since apples in basket A is to apples in basket B is equal to how much? 2 is to 3. It is given. So you can write first. Okay. This way you can get the solution. Now we learn the proportion. What is proportion? Equality of the two ratios is called the proportion. For example, two ratios are A is to B and C is to D, or A by B and C by D. When they are equal, then we can say these are the these ratios are in proportion. Okay, and also it can be represented as A is to B and it is the proportion symbol. Okay, C is to D, and here the A and D are the extreme term and B and C are the mean. B and C term are the mean. Okay, and one rule it's follow, that is the multiplication of the extreme AD equivalent to BC. Why it is? From this relation we can easily find out that the proportion we can write as A by B is equal to C by D, then cross multiply it, we get AD is equal to BC. Okay, clear? So we can say that product of extreme is equal to product of mean. Another way proportion can be represented as A is to B equal to C is to D. Clear? Next we learn the invertendo. Okay, invertendo means we just inverse the ratio. Means the original proportion was what? A by B is equal to C by D. Now after invertendo we get B by A is equal to D by C. Means B is to A is equal to D is to C. Clear? Now AD become mean. Okay, B is to A is equal to D is to C. Okay. Next we learn the alternando. Okay, alternando. So here the given proportion was, suppose C, it is similar to what? A by B is equal to C by D. So after alternando we get L T R N E N D O, we get A is to C proportional to B is to D, means we get A by C is equal to B by D. Clear? Now we learn the componendo. Okay. What that mean? So suppose the given ratio was A by B is equal to C by D, and if we add after componendo, actually what we will do, just add 1 with the both ratio, both side. So here we get A plus that is B, actually that is B by B is equal to C plus D by D. Here D by D. Next we learn the dividendo. Here actually what we will do, suppose the given proportion is A by B is equal to C by D, and after dividendo just deduct each ratio minus 1, both sides. So what value we get? A by B minus B, C minus D by D. Clear? Done. Now if both this equation, that is equation number 1 and equation number 2, divide, we'll get componendo dividendo. Componendo dividendo. Okay. Suppose the given proportion was A by B is equal to C by D, and after componendo dividendo we'll get A plus B, A minus B, C plus D, and C minus D. So this value we get if we divide left side, this left side, A plus B by B divided by A minus B by B. So B cancel out, and right side also D cancel out, and this remain. So these two equation 1 and 2, if we divide, we get the componendo and dividendo value. Okay. So why these are so significant? So we can apply to solve the proportion problem by these rules. We get the solution. Okay. One example, here it is the question. If the 3a plus 5b and ratio 3a minus 5b proportional to 3c plus 5d and ratio 3c minus 5d. Okay. Clear? How you can solve this? Then show that a, b, c, d are in proportion. So what is the meaning of the proportion A, B, C, D are in proportion? Meaning we have to solve, we have to prove that A by B is equal to C by D. Correct? Now we write the proportion as the 3a plus 5b divided by 3a minus 5b and equal to, we can write this way, plus 5d divided by 3c minus 5d. So we have to, if we can eliminate the two values from the 1, then we get the one variable at the numerator, and similarly if we eliminate from the 2 we get another one value from the denominator. This way both side we get the one value each, and we get this the proportion. So for this we have to apply the compounder and dividendo. Why? Look at this. If we add something, then 5b will be eliminate, and if we deduct from this numerator to denominator at the bottom side, denominator side, then also eliminate the uh, a, and we remain the b, right? This way you have to identify which rules you can apply. So apply compounder dividendo. We get what? 3a plus 5b plus 3a minus 5b. Look at this. A plus b and a minus b. C plus d, c minus d. Correct? The left side this, and denominator we write 3a plus 5b minus 3a minus 5b. Look at this. A plus b divided by a minus b. And here it is. The ratio is a by b. Okay, a is to b. Clear? And similarly we can write right side, we can write as 5d plus 3c minus 5d, and denominator side we can write as 3c plus 5d minus 3c minus 5d. Okay, and what remain here? You remove the bracket. 3a plus 5b plus 3a minus 5b, and here it is 3a plus 5b minus, if we remove this bracket then sign will be changed because here it is minus. So 3a plus 5b, and here it is 3c plus 5d plus 3c minus 5d, and denominator we can write as 3c plus 5d minus 3c plus, sign will be changed. So we can eliminate the 5b, cancel out, and here 3a cancel out, here 5d cancel out, and here 3c minus 3c cancel out, and what remain here? The left side. So 6a by 10b is equal to 6c by 10d, implies that we can cancel out 6 by 10 because 6 by 10 both side common. A by b is equal to 6 by 10 into c by d. So we can cancel out the both sides same. So what remain here? A by b is equal to c by d, and finally we can write this as a is to b proportional to c is to d. This is proof. So next we learn what is continued proportion. If a, b, c are in continued proportion, then we can say a is to b proportional to b is to c. Okay, here the mean terms are b. Okay, so we know that extreme product of the extreme is equal to product of the mean. product of mean is equal to product of extreme. From the proportion we know this. From here we can write as b into b is equal to a into c. Implies that b square is equal to ac, or b is equal to plus minus root ac. This way we can find the value of the mean. Okay, middle term. Next we learn the variation. What variation represent? Variation represent the relation between the two variables or the quantities. Okay, relations means how the one quantity change with the change of the other quantity's value. Okay, so there are two types, that is the direct variation. So one is direct variation. So what is direct variation? When the one quantity change in direct relation, means if the one quantity increase, the other quantity also increase, and if the one quantity decrease, then the other quantity also decrease. Then we can say it is the direct variation. So it can be represented as, if the two quantities are there, a and b, suppose two quantities, if they are in the direct variation, then we can write as a proportional to b. This is the proportion, is the symbol of the proportion too. P-R-O-P-O-R-T-I-O-N. A is proportional to B. So it is the direct variation. From here, we can convert into the some equalities, that is A is equal to K into B. Okay. And this K is called constant of proportionality, or proportionality constant. Okay. Let's take one example. In physics, we know that the car is moving with a uniform speed. Okay, so in the distance, if we represent as s, we can write as s is equal to v into t. Suppose it is uniform velocity, then we can say v is uniform velocity. So we can say v is the constant. Clear? And we can say it is the k. Why? Because here s is directly proportional to t. Why? S is directly proportional to t. Why? Because if more time travel, it can distance cover will be more. Okay, it can cover distance more. If less time, it cover distance less. So distance and time, they are related to the direct proportion. Okay, so graphically we can see this. If along the x-axis we consider the t, this time, and along the y-axis if we consider, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, this is the origin, so distance travel. So what will be the graph of, suppose v is 2, suppose this time is second, the unit is second, and suppose this is unit is meter. Okay, and it is second. So what will be the graph if v is equal to 2 meter per second? So it will be, graph will be a straight line. Here, okay, a straight line like this. If it is start from the 0, then it will be like this. So this will be straight line. S is equal to, you can say 2t. This is the graphical representation of the direct variation. Clear? And where the actually the v, the uniform velocity, that is equivalent to k, it is the proportionality constant. Clear? Now we learn the inverse variation. So what is inverse variation? In this case, when the one quantity increase, the another quantity decrease. Okay, so they are the inversely related. How you can represent? Suppose two variables are a and b, they are inversely related, then we can write as a proportional to 1 by b, and with the proportional constant, with equality, we can write as a is equal to k by b. Here you remember k is equal to a into b, but in this above case, the for the direct variation, the k was a by b. Okay, so if two values given, we can find out the proportionality constant or constant of proportionality. Clear? So let's take one example in which cases we consider the inverse variation between the two quantities. Suppose a work is done in, for example, this is graphically how we can represent this. Suppose k is equal to 2 and we get a is equal to 2 by b. So if you want to graphically represent this equation, we get this. This is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate, this is the origin. Okay, so this will be the graph. Okay, look at this, and also in this direction, that is b, and here it is a and this is b. Okay, so if a increase means what? The value rise, then the b will reduced, left direction. If b increase, then look at this. If b increase, for example here, if it is increase, then the value of the a, if b increase, the value of the a will be decrease. Clear? Then look at this. If b increase, for example here, if it is increase, then the value of the a, if b increase, the value of the a will be decrease. Clear? So now take one example. 10 workers can do piece of work in 16 days. Then find the number of days in which the 30 workers can do the same. Now you have to identify what is the relation between the same piece of work is doing here. So number of workers is inversely proportional to days. Number of workers is the answer. Is inversely proportional to the days required to complete the work. Clear? So let's assume that number of worker with the variable as n and days as d. So we can write as n proportional to 1 by d. Correct? So for the two condition, we can write as n2 by n1 is equal to d1 by d2. Since this ratio are in indirect relation, so this inverse ratio equivalent to direct ratio of the days. Okay, so n2 by n1 is equal to d1 by d2. What is n2? N2 means number of worker for the second terms. Second term means what? The N2 is a number of workers, that is the 30 workers. And what is the N1? N1 is actually the 10 workers. And the D1 is what? D1 given the 16 days, and D2 that is unknown. Okay, this value is unknown. Okay, now we put the value. So N2 is what? 30 workers for the second terms, in which 30 workers can do the same work. So 30 workers divided by N1. N1 is how much? 10 workers is equal to, it will be just reverse. For the 10 workers, how many days required? 16. So it will be on the numerator side. So D1 is 16 here, and D2 we don't know. We have to find out the D2. So from here we can find out D2 is equal to 16 into if it is D2 here, then 10 by 30. Okay, so 0 cancel out, so it will be 16 by 3. Okay, now for our convenient, if we consider days as 15, then we get the round figure. Okay, so let's assume it is the 15. Okay, so sorry, this is the 15. We change the all D1 value as 15. So here we write what? 15. So here also we can write as 15. Done. So we get what? 5. Okay, we get 5 days. So now look at this. When here actually worker increase, so days will be reduced. So because they are the indirect relation, indirect proportion, that is the reason. If day increase, then what will happen? If day increase, the number of the worker will be less. Okay, required worker will be the less. Clear? By unitary method also you can solve the above question by the unitary method. So above question can be solved by unitary method also, but here we apply the proportional concept. So for this chapter we apply this concept, but you can solve it the unitary method. We'll discuss in the different chapter. Okay, thank you for watching this video till end. If this video is helpful to you, please subscribe this channel and also share this video with your friends, and press the bell icon and like this video, and you must take the note at the time watch the video, so that you can apply your concept to solve textbook exercise. Once again, thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.